What's up, y'all? Claws on Turf. If you like the content, make sure at the end of the video you like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. So let's look at the coaches that we've had in Carolina for the past 3 to 4 years. Let's start with Matt Rule. In 2021, his offensive scheme was the Air Coryell. The defense was a 4-3. His record was 5-12. The rankings under Matt Rule: points per game, 17.9. That was 29th. Terrible. The points against was 23.8. That was 21st. That is not the end of the world. That was manageable. And I'll tell you why. So that year, the Panthers were top 20 in rushing yards allowed. We're at the bottom of that, on the bottom end, but we're still top 20. Also, we're a top 5 in passing yards allowed. So you can win games with that defense. And we only won 5. We're going to compare Sam Darnold's stats to Bryce Young's stats in 2024, all right? So that year in 2021, Sam Darnold started 11 games. Bryce Young started 12 games. Sam Darnold's record was 4-7. Bryce Young, 4-8. Sam Darnold completion percent, 59.9. Bryce Young, 60.9. Sam, yards per attempt, 6.2. Bryce, 6.3. Passer rating for Sam, 71.9. Passer rating for Bryce, 82.2. QBR for Sam, 38.8. For Bryce, 54.1. Passing yards for Sam, 25.27. For Bryce, 24.03. Bryce played with the worst defense in NFL history. And his numbers, most of his numbers are better than Sam's. I don't care if it's by 2, 3, 4. I don't care. That should really show y'all a lot. Now, Matt Rule, I was not a fan of Matt Rule. I was not a fan. I didn't see him as a true leader of the team. It was more like I got the vibe where he was just coasting, just skating around, and was hoping good things will happen, basically. But yeah, he's a college coach. But hey, at least he can say he got to coach at the NFL level. Hey, and he got his money. So now let's talk about Frank Reich. 2023 offensive scheme was the West Coast. Defense was a 3-4. His record was 1-10, and as we all know, he was fired. Rankings under Coach Frank Reich: points per game, 13.9. That was 31st in the league. And points against was 24.5. That was 29th in the league. We were ranked in the top 5 when it comes to pass yards allowed. We also were ranked 23rd in rushing yards allowed. So that's manageable. That was manageable. Not gonna lie. We could have won more games with that defense. But in the end, we're still bad. Still a bad team. Now, I feel kind of bad for Frank Reich. Now, I don't know if he had any real authority in keeping Bryce Young on the sideline so he can learn and develop. I don't know that. But if he did have authority and chose not to do it, hey, that's on him. Him being in Carolina was not a good thing as a head coach. It just didn't fit him. I felt like Frank was kind of boring in the press conferences. He didn't really inspire anything, any fire or passion. As a fan, I didn't see that. I don't know if he was creative enough with his plays. I don't know. It didn't seem like a spark, and we needed a spark. And his time was up in Carolina. That's all I can really say. Now it's time to talk about Dave Canales. Year 2024. His offensive scheme was the West Coast. His defense was a 3-4. His record was 5-12. Now his record was the same as Matt Rule's in 2021, but as a head coach, you want to have a steady increase when it comes to your record. It can be stagnant for a little bit. I feel like your job is safe, but you want to have an increase. You don't want to decrease in that. And I feel like, Matt Rule clearly got worse. And we're going to see if Dave Canales can keep that, keep it consistent. The rankings under Coach Dave Canales: points per game, 20.1, 23rd in the league. So in the last 5 years, this is the second best stat, points per game rankings for the Carolina Panthers. Now, points against, 31.4. We already know that's the last in the league. We had a legendary bad defense. It was bad. The thing I like about Dave Canales, man, I'm going to list some things off. Developing players is voiced a lot. Motivation is important. Made big decisions when it came to bench Bryce. That took a lot of guts to do that. Rookie head coach. Bryce is supposed to be the franchise quarterback. Drafted him, first overall, and you bench him because the whole team is important. He's seen the bigger picture. Upbeat and caring. He's transparent on topics, whether it's learning to be a head coach. He said several times about the job was hard and this and that. Finding identity, being clear about the process, the roster, how training is going, growth of the team or individuals. He has great energy, man. Dave Canales has great energy. I'm never bored when he's doing his press conferences or anything. I enjoy it. I see the passion. And he trusts in the process. He seems like he's trusting in it. And all that, man. And he's building a culture. He's building a culture that I like to see. I appreciate all the support. I'll be putting out some more content eventually. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good rest of y'all week and have a good weekend. God bless. All right. Take care.